All right, let's rock and roll. All right, here's the deal. The way I want you to attack the workout today is actually by not attacking it at all. We're going to take the opposite strategy of all the words to use. Um, I'm going to take you through exercises that we often just use in the warm up. And I want you to make it the challenge today to do whatever I say with the least amount of energy possible. And we're going to do this as an investigation. This is not us like lazily working out at all. It's going to be quite the opposite. It is going to force you to be mindful the entire time. You're going to have to think through the decisions that you're making. I want you to approach this with curiosity because hopefully, if you try to do it differently, the results will be different. And I'm hoping that's going to give you the space to sense a deeper layer of what goes on in your body to help you stabilize. I'm going to speak a lot about your skeleton. So we can imagine it that way. I'm going to give you commands to move your skeleton or to keep it still. And you're exploring, like, does it take 20% of a muscle contraction to stay here, still here? Oh, this is harder. Does it take 60% of a muscle contraction? And these are just, things we're imagining and not, I don't know what percentages really exist. But the reason I want you to feel this, I've been talking to people a lot about the difference between using your muscle, like the intention of contracting it and releasing it when you're done, as a very different thing than tension in muscles all the time. And so I'll look at that even in like our most fit clients. Some of them come in and aesthetically they look really nice, like their muscles are cut and stuff like that, but they're holding tension in them all the time. That's why they look defined. At moments, they should be taking an opportunity to let the muscles release and rest so that they are more efficient next time they go to exercise. So let's just play around with this a little bit. This definitely is not going to be a hard workout. I want to pick things that you can be mindful and successful doing. We're going to start sitting on the floor. And if you hold a lot of tension in your hips, I want you to find something to sit up on as a little riser. So that could be a couple of cushions. You could just sit in a chair if that's more convenient. And I'm going to do that too, so you can see my goal is to get my hips a bit higher than my feet, which will take some of the tension out of that joint. And then I'm going to walk my feet out a little bit, so I've also made a more shallow bend in the knees, another way to release it. All right, pose your hands on your legs just so they have somewhere to be. And I want you to take a second to assess your posture and just get a baseline of how your breathing feels today. So let's try to line up your pelvis so you're on the sit bones, and since it's a rounded surface, let's say on them just a touch closer to the front of the sit bones. Now, look forward at the wall, and that's going to give you a sense of like where your eye line should be, just gazing straight ahead. And we want to lift your chest and your chin so your head and your ribs are stacked right over your pelvis. Now, I assume you've been breathing this whole time, but I want you to take a really big breath. Let your shoulders shrug as you breathe in on purpose. And then when you exhale, let your shoulders relax back down. And just do that a couple times. A real exaggerated lift of your shoulders to your ears, and then let it relax. One more time. Breathe in so we can feel movement of the shoulders. They're sitting on top of the rib cage. And now when you breathe in, I want you to send the breath down low into your ribs and see if you can leave the shoulders at rest on top of the rib cage. Then as you exhale, just feel the air leave your body, sense your ribs settling back in towards your midline. As you breathe in, take the air in through your nose, send it deep into your lungs to feel the lowest ribs expanding in every direction. And then exhale through your mouth. Pretend you're blowing out through a straw. So we just send it out slow and steady to feel the ribs pull back in. And one more time as you breathe in, sending the air deep into the lungs, still lets it fill all the way up to the chest. It just keeps the tension out of the shoulders. And then exhale, draw your abs in slightly and hug the ribs together. Now let's start to move your spine a little bit. Bring your hands behind your head, but take like a wide grip closer to your ears. Don't grip at all again. Just gently touch your head. I don't know what's up with my words, man. Take an inhale breath, sit up tall. As you exhale, nod your chin and start to round your upper spine forward. Try to stay on your sit bones as you curl towards the floor. Now breathe in, push down into the sit bones, stack up your spine. We're going to go past where we started and lift the chest and chin to see the ceiling. Exhale, curl forward, compressing your abs, sinking your ribs in toward your knees and flexing. Inhale all the way up, lift from your heart and your chin. Exhale, curl forward, spreading your shoulder blades apart. Inhale, rise all the way up, lifting from your chest. 2 more times. Exhale, curl down towards your legs. And then inhale all the way back up. 1 more time. Exhale, flex forward. And then inhale to lift back up. Now we're going to switch into a mermaid position with your legs. So if you're on cushions, you want to be half on the cushion. 1 leg flipped forward, 1 leg flipped back. So that one hip, you can see I can actually move it, just sitting in space. That's reducing the amount of turn I need on this side and pressure on the knees. Now I'm just going to take it away, just so in case you're not using a cushion, you're going to look like this. I'll stay down for this round. When we switch sides, I'll go back to the cushion. One hand on that front knee, other arms out to the side. Sorry, that was too casually. Out to the side means this. All right, we're going to rotate. I want you to keep a little pressure of your hand against your knee and push into the knee while you twist away from the knee. And this should give you a nice opening feeling in your chest. Then I want you to turn towards the knee. I'm going to slide my hand around to the thigh and push into that side when I go this way. For your breathing, inhale. I'm going to go back to the kneecap side and the shin side. Open the chest here. Exhale, I'm going to go to the thigh side, twist into it. Inhale, open, keeping your chest lifted, and exhale to close. Now, if you want to add a little more to this, as you go out, I want you to lift your arm, your chest, and your chin, so you're adding a little extension. Then as you go towards that front knee, you're going to drop your chin and flex your spine. Inhale, you're going to lift up, looking towards that hand reaching high, and then exhale, low. Now, if this doesn't feel great on your back, leave this part out and just keep doing the straight twist I first showed you. And then up. And let's just do one more time. Rotate in, flexing forward, and then lifting back up. Okay, let's go to the other side. I'm going to hop back on this cush as promised. Yikes. I didn't really mean this to be a cushion workout, but I love a cushion. Whee! Okay. So I'm half off, able to wiggle this pelvis, hands on the knee, arm out to the side. All right, so I want you to always feel this connection to your legs. So we're integrating hip and torso into this upper body work. I'm going to push here, start to rotate, let that open the chest. There's your starting position. Now as you exhale, hand goes to the thigh side, twist, and you're just wrapping around to hug yourself. Inhale, rotate away, hand goes to the front, you lift your chest, and then exhale, turn. And inhale, open, leading with your heart. Exhale, rotate again. Now, if you'd like, we can add extension on this side. Exhale, flex to the front leg. Inhale, rotate, lift your heart. Exhale, scoop your abs back, round forward. Inhale as you lift. And exhale, soften the neck and shoulders, round down. Inhale, back up. One more time. Exhale, flex your spine. And inhale as you lift. All right, let's get off of here. Let's go down onto your back. Ditch your props if you got them. All right, next we're going to go into the hip release exercise. I want you to bring your hands onto the front of your hip bones. Palpating the bones we're talking about may give you a better sense of whether or not you're staying still. With your hands on your hips, I want you to start with just first a couple pelvic tilts. So you're going to rock your pelvis forward and backwards, which rocks your pubic bone up and then your hip bones up, just like if you imagine 2 kids on a seesaw. Now we want to try to begin in a neutral pelvis. So when we're neutral, your pubic bone and your 2 hip bones are about level with each other, and that brings a little bit of a forward curve into your low back. When we get there, the low back shouldn't feel tense. So if it does, you might be slightly too arched. And then I want you to tilt your pubic bone up just a little bit. This is where every degree matters. Just do a couple degrees of tilt at a time till that tension goes away. And instead, you could feel a sensation in your abdomen holding you still in position. Okay, that's your neutral. Now, hands can stay on the hip bones for monitoring. the hip release exercise, we move one leg at a time. So I want you to take your right leg, which is not going to be the one moving, press the big toe and that inside edge of your heel into the ground with just a little more firmness. When you do that, you'll notice a little awakening of the inner thigh muscle on that right side. That's going to be another force of stability into your pelvis. All right, now the left leg is the mover. When you breathe in, you're going to let your knee fall out to the side, and at the same time, you're going to slide your foot down the mat to straighten your leg. When you exhale, turn your leg in and bend your knee to pull it back up. And again, let your knee fall out to the side, slide the foot away from you, rotate your leg in, and pull it back up. So back to monitoring the hips. We want to resist the hips rotating as you turn your leg out and slide. And then turn in and come up. Let's do it one more time. Try to feel those abdominal muscles stabilizing the space between the hips and ribs, rotate it in, and lift back up. Let's try the same thing on the other side. Now drop your knee out to the side, left foot anchored into the mat, left hip stays heavy and slide the foot away. Rotate your leg in, pull back up. Again, look for that inner thigh connection as the knee falls out. On the other leg, we press into that big toe, keep rooting into the ground. Turn your leg in and pull back up. And again, let the leg fall out, glide it away, maintaining the tone in the torso. Turn in and up, tone in the torso. That was a weird thing to say. One more time, drop it out. Slide the foot down the length of the mat. Roll it in and pull it back up. All right, you digging this so far? We're going to reverse directions for another set. Sometimes it feels a little harder to find where the stability is on the return. All right. As you inhale, left knee falls in. So kind of crashes into the right leg as it slides down the mat. Now turn your toes out, and as you exhale, bend your knee wide to pull it back and then lift it up to the ceiling. So it's that end range, it's a little tough. Drop your knee into the center, glide your leg down. Exhale, turn it out, drag in the heel. Keep pressing down that opposite hip and lift. Two more times. Fall towards center, glide away. Turn out your toes, drag your heel in and up. I'm having a little trouble sliding. I don't know if you could tell, but if that's true for you, make sure you stay touching the ground. Just a light touch. It really changes the muscle use if you bring your foot up into the air. All right, let's switch legs. Get that left foot anchored again. Now the right leg falls into the middle and glides away. Turn your toes out, drag your heel in, and lift your knee. And again, let it collapse in, slide away. Turn your toes out, drag your heel in, and lift. Two more times. Fall towards center, glide down. Turn out, drag your heel in, bring it up. One more time. Try to inhale into the back of your body, slide that foot down, turn it out, exhale, connect with those abs, drag your leg in, and lift again. All right. If your feet have moved away from you, let's get them in. So they're back to hip width apart, feet pretty close to your hips, like 6 to 8 inches, and a little space between your legs. All right. We did a couple pelvic tilts before. Let's just revisit that. When we rock the pelvis this way, you can feel the change happening in your spine towards a flatter low back and then the arch returning. We're going to go into a hip roll that initiates with that motion, and we're going to use the pelvic tilt to start lifting the spine off the mat. Arms are resting by your sides. You're going to take an inhale breath to prepare. When you exhale, think of that seesaw, and we're going to tip the pubic bone up. Now start to lift your pelvis off the mat and begin peeling each vertebra of the spine in order off the floor till you're at the bottom tip of your shoulder blades. Now stay there, take an inhale at the top. You may notice a stretch through the front of the hips or the front of the thighs. When you exhale, start to roll back down, lowering each rib one at a time. Then feel each bone of your low back pressing into the mat in sequence. And then untilt the pelvis as you inhale and allow the curve to come into your lower spine again. As you exhale, begin to rock the pelvis and compress the abdominal muscles with your breath. When you start to lift your hips, reach your knees away from your shoulders. We want to make space here in the front for the pelvis to lift. Stay here, take a breath in, and then when you exhale, lead coming down with the chest sinking. So like my breastbone is pushing into my back. My abs are compressing to push my low back into the mat. And then I land the pelvis and unrock it back to neutral. Two more times. Exhale as you start to curl off again. Try giving a little pressure into your big toes, especially as you reach your knees away from your shoulders. That should really wake up your inner thighs. Now stay at the top. As you breathe in, try to focus the air into the back and the sides of your ribs, and then exhale, roll back down. And the whole time you're coming down, try to pull your hips towards your heels. Keep sinking and sinking and sinking, and unravel back to neutral. One more time. Exhale as you curl your hips off. Give a little pressure into your arms. Now push the weight into your feet. When you get to the top, try to keep a little connection with your abs, like they're trying to hold you down from making a real arch there. Inhale at the top, and then roll back down again, passing through that imprint and rocking back to neutral. Okay? Now reach your arms up to the ceiling with your palms facing in. I'm going to have you leave your arms there for just a second. Let's do another sensing of our skeleton. When you were sitting up, we lined up your hips, your ribs, and your head. And I guess we're doing that again here, right? So back of your head has contact with the mat. And then as you scan your neck, it arches forward away from the mat, just like we've described the low back curve. The spine reverses at your ribs, so you can sense the back of your rib cage, or at least most of it, against the mat. Maybe you won't feel your bottom rib, but most of them. And then the spine changes curve again, and the low back arches off the mat. As we get to the pelvis, you can feel the roundedness of your sacrum and your glutes a little bit in the mat. So we've got 3 landmarks touching, 2 spaces in between them that are off. Now your challenge is to use your oblique abdominal muscles to maintain this alignment while we move your arms. When you exhale, you're going to send your arms overhead as far as you can without letting the spine change shape at any segment. And then inhale to take your arms back up over your chest. As you exhale, reach overhead. Use the breath to slide the ribs together and down. So they're moving in the opposite direction of the arms. Inhale as you lift. Exhale overhead. So what we're looking to find is the end of your shoulders flexibility while you stay in a neutral spine. Inhale up and exhale. So you can see I'm still way off the floor. I'm not saying I have the most flexible shoulders, but it's definitely not unreasonable if you cannot hit the floor. Exhale, reach overhead. And if you are hitting the floor, just question if you're stable or not, if your ribs have moved or not. Inhale up one more time. Exhale overhead. And inhale back up to the ceiling. All right, you're going to turn onto your side. You're going to put your bottom arm under your head, and you're going to bend your knees up at about 90 degrees. If this hurts your shoulder, you can grab a pillow instead to put under your head. All right. Try to center your back, get it as straight as possible. And you want a 90-degree angle at your hips and your knees. Top arm reaching forward at chest height. When you breathe in, you're going to lift your top arm so it's above your shoulder. Now keep it in line with your chest. And when you exhale, I want you to rotate your upper body, reaching your arm towards the wall behind you. And the legs stay still as you twist. Now hold here. Take a breath in and feel the breath expansive. So it's going to open your chest even more. And hold for another exhale. I want you to relax the shoulder a little, pull the abs in, and keep squeezing your inner thighs together. Take one more breath in to stay here, and then exhale to lift your arm up and close back over. Let's repeat that just like that again. So you're going to breathe in, take your top arm above your shoulder. Now anchor those legs down. Start to rotate your ribs, neck, and head into the twist. We let that chest open to the ceiling. Now stay and breathe in. Imagine the air was going all the way out to the fingers and it was making your arm get bigger and longer. And then stay for the exhale. What would it feel like if the whole arm now deflated a little? Inhale again to stay. Fill up with that air. Get big, expand. And then as you exhale, let's draw a big rainbow up and over to close. All right, we're going to do 3 more, but now let's do them faster, all the way back on your inhale. So you're going to inhale right into that expansive openness, and then exhale, compress your abs, lift your arms, and close. Anchor the knees down, resist the rotation of the back, and exhale as you close. One more time. Drag out that inhale, feel big, and then exhale, feel the compression and pull back over. Let's flip over to the other side. Okay, legs in tabletop. Top arm reaching forward at chest height. And let's go back to that slower variation. As you breathe in, top arm above your shoulder. When you exhale, compress your abs and start to rotate back. Just think of this like a spiral, rolling up the spine, letting the neck and the head come. Stay here, take a breath in. Sense the breath climbing up your ribs and opening your chest. Now hold for another exhale. Press your knees down, let the shoulders soften. See if you have any twist left in you. Take another breath in to stay, and then exhale to lift up your arm and close. And again, inhale, top arm reaches up, and then exhale as you rotate back. Let your shoulder blade glide back along your rib cage as you twist. Hold here, take a big breath in. Now stay for another exhale, and we want to compress the abs, wring ourselves out a bit more. Take one more breath in to hold, and exhale, lift your arm and close. Let's do 3 faster ones. So you're going to take an inhale, bring it all the way to the back. And an exhale, compress your abs, close back over. And again, inhale, lift up high and wide to expand. Exhale, pull the abs in and close. One more time, big inhale to reach back. And exhale to close back down. All right, let's turn back onto your back. One hand behind your head, one arm down by your side. When we started, I said the whole point was about like doing simple things so we could focus. Simple thing, just a little twist on it. We're going to do an ab prep. You are going to try to do a crunch to the bottom tip of your shoulder blades, and you're going to try to avoid getting thrown off in a rotation or a side bend by the 2 different arms. Okay, let's see what happens. As you breathe in, you're going to tip your chin down just a tiny bit like you would nod to say yes. Take that right into your exhale, and you're going to curl your head and shoulders off the mat. Hover the straight arm about level with the shoulders. Now stay here, take a breath in, feeling the air expand the sides of the ribs. When you exhale, lower back down. Keep looking between your knees so you know you're still centered as you release. Inhale, tip the chin down. Exhale, curl forward, sliding both shoulder blades down slightly and letting them spread apart slightly. Stay here for your inhale. Make sure your pubic bone's still heavy so you're in neutral. Exhale, lower back down. Let's do one more slow one. Tip your chin down, and then exhale on the curl up, using your breath to slide the ribs towards the hips. Hold here. Take your breath in, breathing into the sides and back ribs. Exhale, lower back down. Same move, just going to take it to 2 breaths so it keeps moving. On your exhale, nod your chin, flex forward, reach through that arm. Inhale, lower back down. And again, exhale, curl up, and inhale to lower. Flex forward for 3, and inhale down, and exhale, curl up, and lower. One more time like that. Flex forward, and lower down. All right, I want you to take that arm that's straight. You're going to reach it overhead. Now when you flex up, we're going to add a rotation, and you're going to take this arm across to the opposite side. So let's exhale, curl the head and shoulders up, reach across. Inhale, lower down, take your arm overhead. It doesn't have to hit the floor like you've been practicing in the warm-up. Exhale, curl up, drop that arm. Inhale to return. And exhale, look to where the hand's going. Inhale, drop. 2 more times, flex up and twist. Inhale, lower. Last time, flex up, twist, lower down. Now before we switch, I want you to side bend in the direction of the bent elbow. Like my hand is still on the mat. I'm just bringing it with my head, and I'm just going to take that top arm overhead for one little stretch. Side bend stretch. And then come back to the middle. All right, we're going to switch hands. We're going to do all of that again, including 3 slow repetitions. So my cradling hand, I want that elbow slightly angled up. On the inhale, I'm just rocking the head and the hand to do that head nod. On the exhale, curling up the head and shoulders and reaching through the fingers. Now stay lifted. Take an inhale at the top. Exhale, compress your abs, lower back down. Breathe in, tip your chin down slightly. Exhale, curl forward. Try to stay neutral, holding the pelvis still. Stay lifted. Breathe in, expand the ribs. Exhale, compress your abs, lower back down. Inhale, tip the chin down. Exhale, flex forward, gaze at your thighs. Hold your lift, breathe in at the top, and exhale as you return. All right, on a 2 breath, same move though. Use your exhale on the head nod to curl up and slide the ribs down. Inhale, control the return. Exhale, gaze forward towards the legs. Try to watch them as you come down to check your alignment. As you curl up, reach through the fingertips to help you spread those blades apart. Inhale as you return. 2 more times. Exhale, curl up. Try to keep your head relaxed in your hand. Last one, exhale up and lower back down. All right, last set, we have the rotation. So you're taking the straight arm overhead. As you exhale, we're going to curl up. The arm's going to come across and drop down to the side of the hip. Inhale, lower all the way down. Exhale, curl up, let your head and neck follow the rotation. Inhale as you lower. As we take that arm down in that like chopping action, it should help you lift that side's shoulder blade off the mat. So we're rotating and increasing the flexion and lower back down. Last one, curl up and reach and return. All right, let's flip you over onto your stomach. We're going to balance this out with a little extension. I want you to take your legs out a little bit wider than hip width apart with your toes turned out. And then you're going to make a W shape with your arms, setting it so that your elbows are in a little closer to your sides than your hands are. That font of W. All right, we are going to do half an extension, then a full extension if your body's down with that. In the half extension, what we're trying to do is get the glide in the shoulder blades smooth and recruit the upper and mid back muscles to take pressure out of the low back when we get to that full extension. So I want you to begin again on an inhale with the image of making your body longer. So you're pulling the crown of your head away from your toes. And I even have activity in the arms when I do that, like almost like I'm dragging my elbows down towards my hips. Then when you exhale, start to lift your gaze and press into your forearms to help you lift your chest. I'd like you to stop when you just have 1 or 2 ribs still left on the mat. Now hold this lift, and when you breathe in, try to let the breath expand your chest like it's pushing you forward as it fills with air. And then when you exhale, compress your abs and lower down, sequencing through each rib, then your neck, and then your head. Take your inhale at the bottom, make that lengthening traction. When you exhale, start to take your head and shoulders up. Draw your shoulder blades back and down as you lift your chest. Stay here for a breath in. And then exhale, compress your abs, lower down, soften that energy between your blades. 1 more of these. Inhale to get longer, and then maintain that lengthening sensation as you lift. Your gaze should go off the edge of your mat. Hold here, take 1 more breath in, and then exhale, deflating gently, softly to the mat. All right, so when we go up into the full extension, if that doesn't agree with your body, just keep doing more reps. We're just going to do 3 reps of the full, but you could do 3 more of that half rep, half lift, whatever. All right, here we go. Inhale, breath to prepare. As you exhale, take your head and chest away from the mat. We're going to push down into the forearms as long as we can, and then lift the elbows. And we're going to keep rising up till you're just on your pubic bone. Some people will have straight elbows, some will not. Stay here, take a breath in. As you exhale, we're going to come back down. So you're bending your elbows right away, trying to get your forearms to the mat so you have more support to finish releasing back down. Take an inhale, reach your head away from your toes. Exhale, start to extend your upper spine. Pull your shoulder blades back and down. Keep drawing those abs in. You're going to feel like you're pushing the heels of your hands away from you as you arrive at the top. Stay at the top for the inhale. Keep squeezing those glutes. And then exhale, lower back down, easing yourself into the mat. Soften the chest, neck, and head. 1 more time. Breathe in, elongating. Now take your time at the beginning. We want a little extension in the neck. The shoulder blades come back to help you extend your upper back. We keep pulling the abs in to support the low back as you lift. 1 more inhale breath to stay. And then exhale, visualize the rolling pin running up your body, flattening you out from tail to head. All right, arms 2 overhead. You're still going to be turned out at your toes, but I want you to just pull it in a little bit tighter. Let's get in a round of swimming. You're going to take an inhale breath to prepare. When you exhale, you're going to lift your arms and your legs just off the mat to make a superhero flying pose. Inhale, you're going to lower back down. And again, so this is the lowest lift you can make, right? So the opposite of what we just did in that full extension, and lower back down. I want you to sense how you're activating the whole back of your body. So we're just perking up and reaching out and then dropping. All right, let's get wacky with it. So in swimming, you're going to do a little flutter kick with your opposite arm and leg. 5 inhale counts, 5 exhale counts. Let's give it a try. Exhale, draw your abs in, float up to this hover. Now flutter it out. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do 3 more breaths. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Last 10, keep it long, and pull those abs in. 3, 4, 5. Reach one more time. Drop it on down. All right. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Sit back onto your heels. Take a nice big breath in. Hold your shell stretch for an exhale. Draw your abs in, and just relax your upper body a little. You're going to take one more breath in to stay here, and then roll up to sitting. All right, kneeling on your hands and knees. Almost done. Let's just do a little moving cat stretch. So I'm going to have you sit back halfway towards your heels. Try to start in a neutral spine here with nice wide sit bones. When you exhale, you're going to tuck your tailbone under, flex your spine into a cat stretch, and shift forward into your hands. Then you're going to extend your spine and shift back towards your heels. So it'll be an exhale to round and shift forward. Inhale to extend and shift back. Exhale, flex the spine, pushing away from the floor. Inhale, have a little sinking down of the chest. One more time. Exhale, flex and shift. And inhale back. Now let's reverse it. Stay extended. Drag with the heels of your hands to come forward. Round your spine and push yourself back. Inhale, pull yourself forward. Exhale, flex and push back. Lift those sit bones, tip forward and shift back. And 2 more times. Extended and flex on the return. One more time. Inhale and exhale, flex and return. Lengthen it back out. All right. Last but not least, we're going to do a set of push-ups. If you'd like to go knee down, just step back to there and you got that available to you. Or if you'd like to go up to a full push-up, go ahead there. Legs can be together or slightly separated. Let's do 3 pulses on the way down. You're going to drop for 3, 2, 1, then do a smooth push back up. Let's do that 3 more times. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Exhale to lift. Drop down 1, further 2, further 3, and up. Last time, 3, 2, 1, push up. Drop your knees down if they're not already. Shift your weight back. All right, one more set of 4. You can switch your style. You can go back where you were. Pull those abs in, squeeze those glutes, lengthen out. Here we go. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, push up. And again, drop it. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lift. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Push up. Last time. 3, 2, 1. Lift. Drop your knees. Shift back. Someday I hope to be able to hide my suffering from you. Shift your weight onto your feet. Roll yourself up to stand. Just get a little more where you can see me. Okay, to finish, nod your chin, curl forward, bend your knees a little. So we're in like a floppy squat. Roll yourself back up to stand. You're going to take your arms overhead, lift your heels, drop your heels and lower your arms. And again, round forward, Releasing your body. Push into your heels, roll up to vertical, arms overhead, lift your heels, and lower them down. Just one more time. Drop the arms, nod the chin, sink, roll back up, find the weight over your heels, arms to overhead. Now shift forward to the balls of the feet and lower down. You're done. All right. Have a groovy day.